Alright, I have a 2011 Ford Fiesta that's making a popping noise when you turn. I don't know if you can hear this. This noise is usually from the steering shafts, so we're going to replace the steering shaft on this 2011 Ford Fiesta. Alright, this is the part number for that steering shaft. See that? And this is from Ford. I like to put in original equipment parts because they seem to fit better and are usually made pretty well. Might pay a little more. Also, it's a good idea to have some blue or red Loctite. I like to use the red Loctite so that the bolts don't back out. Alright, I'm going to remove the upper pinch bolt first on the steering column, and that's going to be done down underneath. And you'll need a special socket for this called an inverted Torx. You can see it, it almost looks like a Allen head or star, and this one's a T12 inverted Torx. So when I come back, I'll have that bolt out. You got to kind of feel your way up at the top and pull that pinch bolt out of the top of the shaft. Also, I've turned the wheel about this angle here, almost about a 45 or 1/8 turn to the right. Very important once we get this shaft out that we do not turn the steering wheel and get it out of phase with the rack and pinion, because you can damage the airbag clock spring. There's a special clock spring underneath the airbag that can be damaged, and that would be very expensive to get replaced. With the steering wheel turned at this angle, got my ratchet and socket. The bolt should be pointing up. And this is the bolt, and this is the special end on it. It's called an inverted Torx. That's why you need that special socket. Then the pinch bolt that's on the floor is a 12mm, and we're now going to remove that. Now we're going to let that off. And then remove it from the steering column. And you can even see the warning here about locking the steering wheel so we don't damage the clock spring. Alright, I got the bolts out, and I'm going to put a little bit of red Loctite on here so these don't back off later. Okay, now I'm going to put the new shaft in. The sides with the end with the splines will go up on the steering column. And it's master splined right there, one flat spot, so it'll only go on one way. The other side is master splined also, but there's no splines on this one, and this will only fit on the rack. So I'm going to put the shaft up on the bottom of the steering column first. Now I'm going to put the other end without pulling it off the steering column onto the end of the input for the steering gear. Alright, I've put the bolts in. I've already torqued the one up at the top using the inverted torque socket, which is the E12. And now I'm going to tighten the pinch bolt on the bottom. This is the 12mm socket. Alright, I have everything hooked back up, tightened down, and here's the test to see if my noise is fixed. And no more clunking noise.